Well, you can see what shirt I'm wearing, and you know what I'm going to do in this video even before you've read the title or listened to me say anything. The date today is May 3rd, 2025. On the 17th of April, 2025, taking a look, the 17th of April, as of today, was 2 weeks ago. Ubuntu, Canonical, the company, released 25.04, the latest release of the Ubuntu operating system, and its various flavors and whatever. A week later, upgrades were disabled because of various major bugs with, honestly, different flavors, i.e., a bug only applied to one flavor or two flavors or whatever. Not to everything. It wasn't a base system bug or anything like that, and there was multiple problems. So what are the bugs? Well, let's get into that because that's pretty easy to deal with. Upgrades to Plucky, which is the code name, Plucky Puffin of 25.04, incorrectly remove SIC foreign packages from disabled sources. Okay. Ubuntu 24.10 do release upgrade and Steam or other dependencies installed produces not booting desktop. Okay, that's pretty serious. Ubuntu Studio failed to upgrade Oracular, the codename of the previous, to Plucky. I don't know what that means, but sure. I assume if I click on that link, because it goes to a Launchpad bug report, I'd know a little bit more. Ubuntu release upgrader Qt interface Qt6 incompatibility. Again, that seems pretty serious. Okay, so we've established that this is actually a serious problem. The basis of this rant and my complaints and all of that, like the last time we did this, because believe it or not, we've been here before on this channel. It has happened in recent memory 4 years ago with the release of 21.04, which I forget the code name for that, doesn't matter at the end of the day, where it was released in an incomplete state or in a buggy state, maybe unbeknownst to the developers, fine. It was pulled shortly after, at least in terms of upgrades, and then we got it eventually. Now, in the case of 21.04, as I remember it, there was very little in the way of actual commentary. You had to go digging through forum posts, and you had to go digging through Launchpad bug reports, etc., etc. The Canonical folks have learned nothing from that experience. Why do I say that? I'm going to go to the Ubuntu website right now. The Canonical website. Let me see here. Let's go to ubuntu.com. Accept all visit site because you need to have that. Ubuntu 25.04 Plucky Puffin is now available for download. Is the first thing that shows up. Get Ubuntu Pro, latest from our blogs, energize your engineers, open source security. Okay, it's a bunch of things touting Ubuntu on the front page, which makes sense. Nowhere in here do I see a notice that says, oh, by the way, you can't upgrade just yet because XYZ. Let's open the download page, just for kicks and grins. Nope, nothing there. In fact, if I search for the phrase upgrade, nothing shows up. How about the word update? 5 years of security, okay, don't care about that. Firmware update, don't care about that. Maintenance updates, don't care about that. Security updates, don't care about that. Okay, so there's nothing on that page about that. Then we come here too. And I realized that what I could do is I could do like a screen capture and throw that in the video. I don't care. I don't want to do too much editing with this. It's already up at 5 minutes. Nothing. Okay, where'd the blog posts go? Latest news from our blog. A couple of feature articles. A canonical announcement about the release being made. That was on the 17th of April. The most recent post was on the 30th about Qualcomm Dragonwing something or another. The Ampere 1 system on chip. Sure, great. All this is great and well and good, but there are nothing is posted in a prominent location. You have to Google search, Ubuntu 2504 upgrade disabled or something similar in order to be taken to this discourse page, which, by the way, I love the, just fake news on this discourse, not Discord, I'm sorry. I love the fake news on this because the post says that it was 1 hour ago. That's wrong. It doesn't actually show when the post was posted. 1 hour ago was the most recent update to that post, the most recent edit. But it doesn't show the date anywhere. Good job on the quality control on that, guys. So again, you go Googling and you can see that, it's the 24th of April. We've identified some issues in the blah, blah, blah affecting the whatever issues under investigation. Results, it's been temporarily suspended. The necessary updates are already in the pipeline and we expect to re-enable upgrades very soon. That was posted on the 24th of April. It has now been 1 week and nothing. So, are you wrong or are you a liar? Two options. Are you wrong in that these updates are not in the pipeline, or there's problems with these updates and they've been pulled from the pipeline and you're just not saying anything about them? Or are you lying about them being in the pipeline at all to start with? I guess both of those are kind of the same thing, in that, no, they're really not in the pipeline. They're still being worked on. So you are a liar, in that, no, in the pipeline. Yes, technically they're in the pipeline. I guess you could say that because someone's working on them, but they're not published updates. And don't tell me that they are, because if they were, we'd be able to upgrade. Unless, again, someone's incompetent at their job and forgot to turn the upgrades back on. So let's take a look at some of these things. Upgrades to Pucky incorrectly remove foreign packages. Okay. This goes to a launch pad. Fix released. Fix committed. Okay, cool. So why is this still active? Apparently it is, though. How about this Ubuntu upgrade? Fix released. Okay, why is it still active? How about this Ubuntu Studio thing? Fix released. Why is it still active? People are not doing their job, is what this comes down to. If the fix is released, the fix is available, you should be able to update. End of story. The release upgrade tool forces you to install all updates before you can run the upgrade tool. Again, I know this from experience. That's the way that it works. There is no explanation as to why anywhere, other than this vague, there's some problems, here's the list of problems, do the research for yourself, we'll enable them soon. But the bigger problem is there's no when. Now, I understand that things take time to debug and things take time to release and whatever, but there isn't even an estimate. Not even a vague idea of an estimate. Like, no one's out there saying, oh, well, it might be a month. It might be 2 months. But the bigger problem I have with this is looking at these things, especially this Qt interface incompatibility. How was that not caught in testing? Did you not test your product? Doesn't look like you did. Doesn't look like you did at all. So it comes down once again to the fact that we are pushing the updates out to meet some kind of weird versioning scheme. It must be 25.04. There is precedent, by the way, for it slipping. I mean, let's go back to 2006. It slipped 2 months. It was 6.06 was the release name. There's precedent. You can do that. These are things that should have been caught in testing. These are things, they're major problems that, like I said, should have been caught in testing. It wasn't ready. It boils down to an inability to accept the fact that it is just not ready. I could go and download 25.04 right now, install it on something, and it probably works just fine. So it works, right? Nah, doesn't work. Because upgrades don't work, which means that it doesn't work. If it doesn't work in one situation, it doesn't work at all. End of story. That's the way that the world actually functions. But they've learned nothing in the 4 years that it's been since the 21.04 debacle, because it was a debacle. We're still stuck in this limbo. There's no official notice from anybody, just this one random post on a forum somewhere. And you gotta do a lot of your own research. The end user is not gonna do that. So it's no surprise to me that there are thousands upon thousands of forum posts and places from people asking, why can't I run this update? Because there has been no official notice. That's the issue. There needs to be official notice. Something somewhere that says, oh, hey, it's released, you can download it, but you can't update yet because XYZ. There's been none of that. What is the company doing? Other than nothing. Why do they exist? What's the point? What's the point of even having a blog if you're not even going to mention it anywhere? Useless. So that's my rant. The Groundhog Day is real. This has happened before. It's happening again. It's probably going to happen again in the future. And they're just not learning from the past. All you need is a notice somewhere. But we can't have nice things, can't we? So that's my 13-minute spiel. Leave a comment down below. What do you think? If you think I'm an idiot, which I'm sure 90% of the people watching this video do, and that's fine. Just keep it constructive, please. But for now, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them below.